and welcome back to Turning Pages with Bree. I am so glad that you took some of your time here to spend with me on this video of my September hopefuls. So this is, of course, all the books that I would like to tackle and read in this month of September coming up in a few days. It's actually the end of August. Today, to be exact, is August 27th. Not sure when I will put this one out. It probably won't be this week. It'll be next week. So maybe you'll get this like the first week of September. So anyways, of course, I welcome all returning subscribers and anybody that is new. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I appreciate your time. And if you would please comment, like, and subscribe if you are enjoying what I'm putting down on the videos. If you like my spirit and what I bring, please continue to watch and, subscribe. So anyways, getting right into it, I am going to first start out by letting you know that I completed one of Kennedy Ryan's older books. It's a series, and it's I think it's called the Bennett. I'll have it up here, of course, for you guys, but I think it's called the Bennett Brothers series. You know what? Let me look. But anywho, I completed the first one, okay? And the first one is called When You Are Mine, okay? And I had these on my shelf for a long time. These are actually physical copies that I've had and kind of just put off and hadn't picked them up to read. So finally picked it up. It does start off slow, but it did get me towards the middle where I was really interested in what was going on, what was happening. And so I won't get into the details of the series because I'll save that for another video. But I will tell you that it left me on a cliffhanger, so much so that I was interested enough to want to go on to the next book in the series, especially because I have the whole series. It's 4 books in them. And the next one is Loving You Always. And I am excited to go ahead and read this one. And it's a short read. I think it's less than 250 pages. So this I'm going to be tackling in the month of September. Hold on, I'm gonna come right back on because I am cooking and my timer just went off on my stove. So I'm gonna come right back and share with you the rest of the books that I want to read. All right, so I'm back. Thanks for your patience. But you wouldn't have to wait. You know these are copy, cut, paste, whatever. On to the next. But anyways, going to be reading Kennedy Ryan's Love You Always, like I said, before I stopped. And the next book I am actually going to pick up is The Amendment by Miss Kiersten Modglin. And this is the second book in the series. This is a thriller, a psychological thriller. And I read the first one probably about 2 months ago. And so finally on my Libby app, the second one is now available, and so I am going to be diving right into it. Can't wait to get started. It's the third one, I think, and then that finishes out that series, The Atonement. So The Amendment, that's next. Then I am also going to be reading my first read from Miss Kim Cash Tate. I have several of her books in my on my shelf that I have not picked up, and so I actually, hold on. Oh, here it is right here. I actually pulled it out so that you guys can see. I'm going to be reading Faithful. This is my first read of hers. I cannot wait to get started to see what this is. This is actually Christian fiction, love story, of course, romance category, but it is no spice. So it's a little different because I usually have reading all this spicy stuff, but I'm not going to be reading spice in this one. And I'm excited because I've heard a lot of positive feedback about Miss Kim Cash Tate. And so I can't wait to dive into her books. This being the first one, I hope this was a good pick. And you know what? I didn't even check to see if this was actually the first if it was a series. Okay, I'll make sure to check that If it is in a series or something, then I will probably change it out. But if not, then I'm gonna stick with it and read it if it's a standalone. All right, and so moving right along, I'm going to be picking up and reading Miss Takerra Allen's Needful Noor. This is, again, I'm not sure if it's a series. I apologize, I did not check for these, but I'm going to be reading that one. I am going to be reading also starting a series, and I forgot the name of the series, but it's a pretty long series, and it is Love Belvin and Christina C. Jones. They have been like taking turns in the series writing the books. Book 1 is the Love Belvin, book 2 is Christina C. Jones, and then on and on. So anyways, the first one is called Love in the Redzone. And guys, I'm looking at my iPad to make sure that I give you the names correctly. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. But anyhow, I'm going to be reading that, Love in the Redzone. That's the first one. And then the second one is Love on the Highlight Reel. And I'm going to be also reading that one. So I'll be reading those two, in the first two in that particular series. And I'll have it up here so you can know the name of the series. And I am actually finally going to be reading one of Gray Huffington's books. I have been wanting to dive into some of her catalog because I've heard a lot of positive things about her books. And so I went and looked on my Libby to see what I could get that I could put on hold of hers. And this came up first. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Something else came up first, but it wasn't the first in the series. And I wanted to start at the beginning. So this one is called Ledge. And this is the first in this particular series. And you know what, I'm gonna have it up here again so that we'll know what the name of the series is. But I'm excited because I have been waiting weeks for it to come up, and it finally dinged me that it was available. So I am here for it. I cannot wait to start with Ledge in the Gray Huffington books. And then I am also going to be tackling book called Chaser by Terrence M. Clarke. This is the book. This is actually from the library. It's a love story, of course. It's a romance, and I'm here for it. You know, I love romance. I'm not going to go into what this one is about, but I'm going to tell you that it is a love story. And when I read the synopsis, I was interested, so I'm going to be reading that. Also going to be reading The Serial Killer Guide to San Francisco by Miss Michelle. Did I tell you what the other one was about? Oh, yeah. By Miss Michelle Chouinard. This is the book, and this is also one of my library book picks. This is a thriller, of course, and so I was interested. I like the cover. It intrigues me, so I am super excited to get to read this one. Also going to be reading one of Tasha L Harrison's books called The Bad in Each Other. It's a small town romance. And I have picked up another book of hers that I wanted to read, and I didn't get a chance to read it. So when I seen this one, I said, you know what, I'm gonna try with this because the other one was really thick. So this is a new to me author. I have not read anything by her. I want to give her a shot and see if I like it. This wonderful way to do that by going to the library. So anyways, picked it up just because I was browsing and looked interesting, and I remembered that I had got something else from her before and didn't get a chance to read it. So September, this is the month that I'm gonna see what she's all about. Okay, and these last ones are going to be from my previous hopefuls that I still have not read. Okay, so Brittainy Cherry's Loving Mr. Daniels. I have not read this one yet. I'm so sorry. I was supposed to read it. I have not read it, but I am looking forward to reading it. And so I'm going to get this done in September. Miss Shanora Williams, Whispers of the Lake. Again, I was supposed to read this, y'all. I was supposed to read this. Okay. I'm gonna read it because I love my girl Shanora. She just hits for me every time, and I love her in thrillers and I love her in romance. I love both, so there is no way and no reason for me not to have this done. So I'm going to read this in September. September is the month for this, and y'all know this young lady got me back into reading, Miss Ashley Antionnette. Before the streetlights come on. This was also carried over. And this one's a little chunkier, but it's not bad, y'all. And I'm just tripping. I should have already read this book. I paid a lot for this book, and I should have already read it. So I am going to read this in September. Mark my words. This is the book I'm reading in September, okay? So these are all of the books that I am committing to reading in September. Oh my gosh, it's hard to hold all these sometimes when you get them like this. Hold on, y'all. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I am going to read all of these. I have a few on my Libby that I wasn't able to, of course, hold up, but I can tell you this is going to get done. September is the month. So this is my TBR. Y'all know I'm a mood reader, so things can change, okay? But hopefully not too much, and possibly some more. Maybe I'll get some more in, but I definitely want to read these. And so that's one. Let's see, let me make sure. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12 books. 12 books. I normally will read anywhere from 15, 16, books a month. So I can do that. I can do 12. I'm going to do it. So anyways, if you stayed on with me this long, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please, again, subscribe, like, do all the good things. And I will definitely see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.